Speaking of screwing over workers and regular people, Starbucks, little update for you. Of course, the Starbucks Union, Workers United, they have been romping in union elections across the country. I mean, well over 100 stores have unionized now. It is extraordinary. And Starbucks, we've been reporting, has been completely freaking out about this. They brought Howard Schultz back in. They fired a number of people, including some of the people leading their union-busting response. This has clearly not gone well for them. What did Howard Schultz say? It was like an invasion or an assault. Assault. That was the word he used, this union assault on Starbucks. Well, they now have escalated to a new tactic, effectively declaring all-out war on the union. Put this up on the screen by closing one of the cafes that unionized. This, according to a Bloomberg report, the union says that this is obvious retaliation. They didn't just say this; they actually filed that allegation with the National Labor Relations Board. This is a store that unionized in April. It's located in Ithaca, New York. They're asking the NLRB to seek a federal court injunction to quickly prevent or reverse the store closure. So we've had around 100 Starbucks cafes have voted to unionize. Actually, more than that now. Only 14 have voted against unionizing. So Starbucks desperate to do something here to stop this trend and this landslide in favor of unionization within their stores. And part of why we know this is retaliation and not just, normal, like obviously sometimes Starbucks stores close, is because, put this up on the screen from More Perfect Union, they obtained the email that was sent to unionized Starbucks workers in Ithaca that announced the closure of their store. And guess who it was sent from? It was not actually sent from Starbucks. It was sent from their union-busting lawyer who handles union negotiations. So they're using the union busters to close the store. That tells you everything you need to know about what this is actually all about. And we've seen this be successful in the past, Saagar, where at other companies, I think it was Dollar General who did this in Missouri.
They did that.
They want to put the fear of God into these workers that, hey, if you vote to unionize, your store could be next. You could be out on the street and without a job like that because we still hold all the cards and have all the power.
I think the fact that it was Ithaca and that it was at one of the original places with unionization, I think is a major show of force against the workers by the company. And my great fear, as I was talking about earlier, is yes, the labor market is hot. Yes, it was a great time, really, in order to go and to try and form a union. But the more into recession that you go, the more excuse that they have to just crack down as much as possible. All you need is a single down quarter and down in the stock for the company to just go full-fledged. And I'm not saying they haven't necessarily even already done that, but that just makes it so that it will get lost in the noise, I think, and that is a fear.
Workers will be more vulnerable to these types of threats.
Yes,
because
way more.
Right now, you have issues with inflation and wages not keeping up, so people are getting a pay cut every month. So there aren't enough good jobs, but there are a lot of jobs. Mm-hmm. So when you are threatening, they fired workers. Actually, Layla, who we had on this show, she's got her court hearing this week to see if she gets reinstated to her job because she alleges, and the union alleges, that she was illegally fired. There are a number of there's the Memphis 7 that also they allege were illegally fired. They have their court hearings, I think, coming up this week as well, maybe even today, actually, for those hearings as well. But they've fired workers to try to make an example of them and scare people and freak them out. Remember, he tried this ploy too, which I assume they're still going through with, of we're going to give all the other workers a benefits increase, and we've got new goodies for them. But if you're a union, sorry, you're left out of that. Also probably illegal, but yet another union busting tactic, because what they try to say is, if you unionize, you may lose some of the good things that you already have. That is almost never the case. And but they're trying to make that reality, even though they're probably doing that illegally. And so this is the next step in the escalatory chain. None of those things have worked. None of them have slowed the momentum whatsoever. I saw yesterday, I think 4, 5, 6, something like that, new Starbucks unions formed just yesterday, voted to unionize just yesterday. So this is the next step. All right, you didn't take it, you didn't do any, it didn't stop when we fired workers, didn't stop when we said union workers, you're not getting these benefits that other Starbucks workers are. what if we actually just close the store, just shutter the whole thing, just to send a message and send a shockwave through the movement? So I still don't think it will work because of where the labor market is right now, but you're 100% correct. As the economy turns, these sort of threats, this sort of bullying, these sort of illegal union busting tactics, they grow more and more potent the more desperate the workforce ultimately is.
I mean, Starbucks really wants to make the case that closing a Starbucks on Cornell University campus makes business sense.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
I've seen Starbucks in strip malls, which nobody goes to, and that place is somehow still in business, but not on a university. That seems like the best possible place to have
Far-fetched,
a
yes.
Starbucks. Whatever.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.